Hey there, it's Greg, and I want to to deliver a simple message, but brief and quite short, with my voice down low. There are certain peoples that need the rest. So, this is about defending our republic. Even though I've done my entries already, this is to the rest, to on this Independence Day Eve after the 4th of July. Mr. President Donald Trump. You see this flag? This flag is America strong. I too salute our national defense and security forces of the Republic. They are the legions of liberty. Every service branch from the Army to the Navy, the Marine Corps, the the Coast Guard Auxiliary Reserve, the Air Force, and also to the Air Reserve, the Army Reserve, the Navy Reserve, and the following. You are all freedom fighters, fighting for America. Since the days of the Continental Army, meager naval arm, and Marine and Merchant Marine, and including the burgeoning Coast Guard Auxiliary. And of course, it wouldn't be without the establishment of many years after of the United States Air Force. I myself hold the American defense establishment in my heart, since a little more than the majority of my extended family, my Stafford cousins, have participated in and served their time in the armed forces of these United States, and also both my grandfathers, both Brazda and Terhar. And it wouldn't have been, even with the code talkers, in the Pacific theater of the War of the Nations, the Second World War. This flag behind me, as you can see, my dinner tonight was based on the color scheme the red and white being the red ketchup and red potatoes, the white being the star, the white stripes being the fish, and the gold potatoes, and also cheesy chips, emblemizing the 50 stars. That could possibly over time be transformed into possibly 51, 52, or 53, or 4, or 5, or 6, or 7, or 8, or 9 added to the Blue Union. For it is you that participate in our armed forces. Armies have been at the core of our global heritage. Not just American. Even though our country is still relatively young, we have been in existence for, as of today, 243 years. Next year will be the 40th anniversary of our revolution and birth of our republic. For we all march together, both commissioned officers and servicemen and women. That also includes the home front and also our fellows with and without disability too. We all serve together. From every great general in our republic's past and also current years, from His Excellency General Washington, President Washington himself, on down to Douglas MacArthur, Dwight D. Eisenhower, who also became President Eisenhower, General Winfield Scott, Old Rough and Ready, and of course, one of my brother's namesakes, General Ulysses S. Grant. And of course, we must not forget General Doolittle of the Doolittle raids, and General Chester A. Nimitz. And of course, our current Chairman of the Joint Chiefs. Even though our defense establishment is one of the most sanctified of our government today, to you, Mr. President, and to I, as Mr. Shadow President, we both hold our military in high esteem, but your vision is not the right way. For the 4 freedoms and the possible 5th of the American soul. We all hold, as Lady Liberty holds her torch aloft, we as American citizens and those with disability raise our own in joining hers. And we all unsheath our swords and patent sabers in the defense and also to preserve our more perfect union. For we are and always will still be America strong. The reason why we are strong is because of our valiant and victorious military. The cornerstone of our republic. They are the reason why we have never been invaded. Since the onset of our War of Independence. The reason why no armed resistance has toppled our government. No populist or authoritarian person, tyrant, has arisen. But you, Mr. President, are acting just like them yourself. For it is I, Gregory J. Terhar, have indeed pointed the barrel of a cannon at your front door of the White House, right into the heart of your office, the Oval Office, with you in its sight behind that resolute desk. Otherwise removed and impeached. We are, of course, the democratic resistance and opposition. I myself am, and of course will be, the sentry of Nancy Pelosi, Madam Speaker of the House. It is her word, not yours. Let's take a look at our government. Not just the military. It is a concert due to the balance of the separation of powers. The District of Columbia was created around that, and so was our founding documents. 3 in total. The Declaration of Independence, as we celebrate its signing, and also that of the Constitution with its ratification, and also the American Bill of Rights for all of us citizens, including with and without disability. We are America strong, and with our strength, we are great. Your way of making America great is nothing but a folly, a joke. That's how we are now seen around the world, as a global joke. No longer a country to be respected or admired, but we will always remain the great example and the organized democratic resistance. We will remove you from office. May not be this year, but hopefully we'll have a good run in next year of 2020 AD. We are freedom fighters that will preserve, defend, and protect and safeguard our republic and also constitution and our form of government. We are the second largest democracy in the world, behind that of India. Every day, the thin gray line and also the thin blue line that protect and preserve our democracy are always at, like I said, at the middle of the top, are at a barrel of a gun or a blade of a knife. That American blood has run in our streets, front yards, and backyards for too long. Every day, their dances of their lives are cut short. Some think that it's an honor in our defense establishment to lay down and sacrifice to defend and preserve the American way, vision, spirit, dream, and soul of our great republic. I'll coin a phrase that even you can't muster up. They are each and all heroes of the republic. Some have grown aged and desperately need help in their old age, in their decrepit age, to ease the burdens and also the horrific memories that they experienced in war. Their fleeting gaze is always kind of like a newsreel. The old newsreels that would go round and 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 round. Now into the digital age. They want our respect. They want to be treated with kindness, generosity, and of course, not just conciliation, but tenderness. As their dances fade and their songs are gradually being silenced, every soldier, every airman and woman, every special naval operator, every guardsman and women of the Coast Guard and also Marines. They have grown, and also with the others being the reserves. They need help. They need respect. They want honor. Our sons and daughters want and need help. As they hear of a generation in the back of them being separated at the border, is no way to deprive children, including those with special needs, from their parents that would one day walk hand in hand in the Army, Navy, Marines, Coast Guard, Auxiliary, Air Force. We need to help these people, but we can't take them away from their families. That includes gold stars. You may like mudslinging, but that is not the way. They need compassion, respect, and honor. The great American eagle is weeping that children that are torn asunder, that would one day walk in our military, will not know what a family means and is at the core of the nucleus of kindness and respect. If it weren't for FDR and, of course, Harry S. Truman, our military would be a second rate defense force with no legitimacy and no era of respect. We would be caught in Hooverton. You may be president now, Mr. Trump. Your political base is only made up of fanatics and radicals and religious zealots. That want a more fractious nature in tearing our union apart due to old scars that have barely been able to heal. Instead, the blood is running afresh. Policemen are being gunned down in the street, in American streets. There are, extremism, not just religious, but also socially. It's not just a global question, it's also an internal question of domestically here in our own backyards and front yards, of domestic terror. I wish you had learned from the mistakes from some of your predecessors and would want to help resolve them in more of a compassionate and caring way. But instead, you're tearing people apart, you're tearing down even the basic principles of the Republic. I challenge you. I don't mind death threats. I'm quite used to them. And I welcome it. But they will not force me to stop the campaign for national liberation and to take our country back to the people. You talk about loving our flag. Our flag means something. It is at the corner of all American hearts. The freedom fighters of our military and also domestic police, FBI, and other enforcement organizations and bureaus need to respect the people, especially those that have special abilities. There needs to be more compassion and more respect and honor that is at the corner of our federal presidential constitutional republic. No matter what, we owe it to our people. It is sons and daughters of every family, including migrants, and undocumented workers that make up more than half of the personnel in our defense establishment and military. Allow LGBT and trans folks to participate in the defense and preservation of the land of the brave and the home of the free, where every heart beats true to our flag, covered in their crimson red blood, white and blue. Oh, say can we see the dawn's early light, the rockets' red blare, bombs bursting in air, played truth to the night, but our flag was still there. Oh, say can you see the Star-Spangled Banner? It is exactly that makes every American that wears the uniforms of this nation at every war academy, from Annapolis to Benning to West Point, swear upon the American creed and the code